15 things poor people do that the rich don't. You don't become poor overnight. It happens in moments, tiny decisions that feel harmless until they aren't. And the terrifying part? Most people make them every single day without even realizing it. Do you know the difference between the broke and the wealthy? It's not income, it's insight. We're about to dive into 15 silent decisions made in split seconds that separate those who struggle from those who build legacies. I'll warn you, some of these might offend you, some will feel too familiar, and a few might make you pause the video and reevaluate your entire routine. But that's the point. Poverty doesn't show up with a warning sign. It shows up quietly in how you use your mornings, your weekends, your distractions. And by the time you notice it, it's already cost you years. The good news? Once you see the pattern, you can break it. The bad news? If you ignore these signs, you'll just keep hustling with nothing to show for it. Let's start with the most dangerous decision poor people make in the name of self-care. It feels empowering, but it's secretly one of the most financially destructive mindsets ever normalized. Number 1, spend before investing, even mentally. The moment a paycheck is expected, the poor mind starts spending it. Before the money even lands, it's already been mentally allocated to shoes, food, upgrades, or finally treating myself. It's like wealth is something they burn through instead of build with. Meanwhile, the rich, they don't spend money in their mind. They spend time strategizing how to multiply it before a single dollar leaves their hand. They treat money like a seed, not a souvenir. Poor people chase moments. Rich people build momentum. And the difference isn't about discipline, it's about vision. Because if your mind is spending before earning, your wallet will always be behind. But what if the real issue isn't money at all? What if it's the conversations you keep avoiding? Number 2, avoid conversations that feel uncomfortable but grow income. Let's be honest. Most people would rather stay underpaid than ask for a raise. They'll dodge sales calls, skip negotiation, and avoid pitching ideas, even when it could change their entire financial life. Why? Because growth demands discomfort. Poor people hate tension. Rich people understand. Tension is the cost of transformation. They walk straight into uncomfortable conversations because they know income follows confrontation, not comfort. If you can't pitch your value, promote your skill, or demand your worth, you'll always be at the mercy of someone who can. Here's the truth. Rejection doesn't hurt nearly as much as regret. And staying quiet, that's the most expensive silence you'll ever pay for. And that fear of discomfort, it's not just about money. It bleeds into your habits, especially the way you chase pleasure. Number 3, prioritize instant pleasure over long-term leverage. You feel drained, so you scroll. You feel bored, so you spend. You feel stressed, so you binge. Pleasure becomes a prescription, and most poor people are over-medicated. But here's the catch. Pleasure is cheap. Leverage is expensive. And most people trade their future for a quick hit of comfort. The rich, they endure the boredom of building. They skip the dopamine fix for the power play. Because they know this, the grind is temporary, but the reward is permanent. Poor people ask, how can I feel better right now? Rich people ask, how can I build something that makes me feel better forever? And that difference is everything. But the truth is, poor people don't just waste money. They waste something even more valuable. They waste words. Number 4, complain about prices instead of negotiating value. That's too expensive. You've heard it. Maybe you've even said it. But here's the problem. Most people say that without even understanding what they're really paying for. Poor people stop at the price tag. Rich people go deeper. They ask, what am I actually getting? Is this an expense or an investment? They don't whine. They negotiate. They don't just accept, they evaluate. Because when you learn to ask better questions, money stops being a wall and becomes a window. Complaining keeps you broke. Asking creates access. And once you realize that value can be negotiated, your entire approach to money shifts. Now, speaking of shifts, have you ever considered how the space around you is silently influencing your wealth? Number 5, ignore the power of environment on mindset. Look around you. Not just your room, your circle, your habits, your inputs. Your environment is quietly shaping your identity, and with it, your income. Poor people stay surrounded by chaos, gossip, limitation. Rich people, they curate their environment like their future depends on it, because it does. They choose clarity over comfort, focus over familiarity. If your home is cluttered, your goals probably are too. If your friends drain you, your finances might follow. This isn't just about feng shui, it's about frequency. You become what you're exposed to. And here's the scary part. If your environment always tells you it's normal to struggle, eventually you'll believe it. But here's where it gets worse. Some people still believe that even if they stay the same, someone will save them. Number 6, expect help without providing value. We've all met someone who wants a handout, but won't lift a finger to grow. A poor mindset believes help is owed. A wealthy mindset understands help is earned by solving problems, offering value, and showing up as a resource, not a burden. Rich people don't beg. They position themselves so that opportunities come to them. They ask, how can I contribute? Poor people ask, why hasn't anyone saved me yet? If your hand is always out, it won't be building anything. Support isn't a right, it's a reward. And even when poor people finally start saving, they still do it in a way that guarantees they stay exactly where they are. Number 7, save money in places that don't grow it. Poor people save like hoarders. Savings accounts, piggy banks, or under the mattress, check. But here's the kicker, none of that grows your money. Rich people don't just save, they invest. They know that if money isn't working for them, it's quietly dying in a stagnant account. Savings should be a foundation, not a prison. If you're just collecting it in places that don't grow interest, you're locking your wealth in a box that's getting smaller by the year. Money needs to move to multiply. And when poor people do take action, it's often just chasing the next shiny thing instead of focusing on what actually matters, growth. Number 8, chase trends instead of creating them. Poor mindsets are reactive. The moment they see something trending, they jump on it. By the time everyone's on board, it's already too late. Rich people don't follow trends, they create them. They study the market, identify gaps, and set the stage for the next wave. If you're always late to the game, you'll always pay to play. And by the time you catch up, someone's already cashing in on the next big thing. That's why they move faster, smarter, and always ahead of the curve. And even when they do work hard, it's never for the wrong reasons. They work to build something that lasts, not something that fades. Number 9, work for approval, not equity. Poor people love praise. They seek approval, validation, and pats on the back. But here's the truth. Validation doesn't pay bills. Rich people seek ownership. They chase equity, not applause. One is a momentary ego boost. The other is a pathway to generational wealth. While the approval seeker focuses on being liked, the equity builder focuses on being free. One creates a reputation, the other creates legacy. And when money finally shows up in their lives, it's rarely by accident. But without understanding the game, it can disappear just as fast. Number 10, spend windfalls emotionally, not strategically. Bonuses, inheritance, tax refunds. For most people, these are seen as opportunities for a shopping spree or the next vacation. But rich people, they see them as opportunities to leap ahead. They don't rush to spend. They ask, how far can this take me? While one mindset focuses on buying things to feel good right now, the other focuses on investing for the future. Windfalls should push you forward, not send you backwards. And when they do spend, it's strategic, focused, and with long-term growth in mind. Which brings us to one of the most toxic purchases of all. Number 11, buy liabilities for status, not assets for freedom. Designer labels, luxury cars, all financed. Here's the kicker. Poor people buy things to look rich, not to actually become rich. They seek status, temporary recognition, and the feeling of being somebody. But the rich, they buy freedom, not by flexing, but by owning. Status fades, ownership stays, one depreciates, the other compounds. The reality is that material things drain your resources, while true assets multiply them. So, stop measuring your worth by your car or your clothes. Real wealth is measured by what you own, not what you wear. But what hurts most? They often reject the one thing that could save them. Reject feedback from people doing better. Poor people get defensive. They avoid criticism like it's an insult. But rich people, they get curious. They don't see feedback as a personal attack. They see it as a shortcut to success. Rejection hurts, yes. but growth hurts more. If you can't take feedback, you can't take flight. It's simple. The most successful people are always learning, always adjusting. They know their blind spots, and they welcome others pointing them out. But even worse, poor people often want reward without facing any of the risk. Number 13, avoid risk and still expect reward. Poor people want the prize without the price. They want the reward without the risk, and that's just not how the game works. Rich people understand risk is rent for the life you want. Without risk, there's no growth. Without skin in the game, you don't get to play. If you avoid risk, you avoid rewards. It's that simple. And every successful person you admire, they took risks you didn't see. No risk, no reward. That's the rule. But here's the thing. Sometimes, it's not even about effort. It's about what that effort is building. Number 14. Think effort equals value, not results. You can work 16 hours a day and still stay broke. Poor people often equate effort with success. More hours equals more money, right? Wrong. Rich people focus on results, not just the hustle. They measure outcomes, not just the input. You can grind day and night, but if you're not working towards something scalable, you're just spinning your wheels. Effort doesn't equal value. What matters is the impact of your effort. And finally, the mindset that kills progress before it begins. Number 15. Focus on looking rich instead of becoming it. This is the trap that keeps millions poor. Optics over outcome. It's easy to get caught up in looking the part. Designer clothes, flashy watches, expensive dinners. But here's the truth. Looking rich doesn't make you rich. Rich people play the long game. They build wealth by thinking beyond appearances. Poor people play to impress the crowd. They focus on status, not substance. The applause might feel good, but it doesn't pay the rent. Building wealth isn't about being seen. It's about becoming the person who doesn't need validation from anyone. So if you've made it this far, I've got something just for you. Bonus, view money as a tool, not a trophy. This is the final unlock. Rich people don't worship money. They use it. Poor people chase it, idolize it, fear it. They think wealth is the ultimate end goal. But rich people see money like oxygen. Essential, but not emotional. They don't make decisions based on how much they can earn. They make decisions based on what they can build. Once you stop attaching your identity to your income, you start making clearer, smarter decisions. Money isn't who you are, it's what you use to build who you become. And if that hit different, wait till you see what's coming next. Drop a quick comment below if you're ready to take your financial future to the next level. Just a emoji or I'm ready is enough. Let me know you're serious. If you found value in this video, hit the like button. It helps this video reach more people who need it. Make sure you subscribe because I drop real, actionable financial content just like this every week. And you do not want to miss what's coming next. Send this video to someone who's ready to break free from a poverty mindset and start building real wealth. And thank you for being part of this community. There's an amazing video recommended just for you popping up right now. Click on it to go even deeper into building your financial future. I'll see you in the next video.